Calard of Garamont is a famous Grail Knight of Bretonnia fame. Seated deep in the lore of Warhammer Fantasy, you might know him from the cover of the 6th and 7th editions of Warhammer Army books for Bretonnia. He has a number of publications modeled after him as well, marking his growth from a young knight-errant all the way up to the legendary Grail Knight that he was. His story weaves through the tales of Bertellus and Inara as well, his younger brother and sister. Bertellus falling into the vampiric path of the Blood Knights, and Inara becoming a well-known Grail damsel, another vassal of the Lady of the Lake. Through this narrative campaign, I will be modeling my playthrough of a Vlandian knight on Calard of Garamont. Our clan will not be the Garamont clan, though. Instead, we will be the Order of the Lionhearted, carrying the lion banner of Bretonnia deep into the lands of the Botanians, Sturgians, or anyone else that would seek to damage the honor and valor of Vlandia. From fledgling clan leader to man-at-arms, and finally vassal of Vlandia, Calard hopes to one day rule over the former Swadian lands of Vlandia, and so our story begins. But I want to quickly go over our character here. So we're going to go very heavily into the conventional knight style. We've gone with a lot of one-handed, a lot of polearm, and then a good amount of riding as well as some athletics to be nimble and quick on foot. We're going to be fighting in some tournaments. We have to earn renown for Callard's name so that he might eventually become a vassal of Vlandia. In addition, we have some nice social skills as expected of a chivalric, courteous gentleman of the court of Vlandia. Let our story begin in the training fields outside of Poros. A large training field opens up before Calard, the sounds of sparring off in the distance as plumes of dirt are kicked up between the wooden fences outlining each sparring arena. Callard's older brother approaches him, the worry in his eyes is evident, and the world weighs heavy on his shoulders. Brother, it's been 3 days now we've been tracking those bastards. I think we're getting close. We need to think about what happens when we catch them. How are we going to rescue Varric and Alda? Are we up for a fight? This looks like an old training field for the legions. Perhaps we can spare some time and brush up our skills. The practice could come up useful when we catch up with the raiders. So do you think we'll catch up with the raiders soon? The tracks look fresh, and I've seen some smoke on the horizon. They can't move too quickly if they're still looting and raiding. Now, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to rescue the little ones, or die trying. How should we prepare for this fight? Well, if they're still pillaging, they may have split up into smaller groups. Hopefully, we won't need to take them all at once, but it would help if we would hire or persuade some people to join us. We're going to actually skip this little tutorial here. Are you sure about that? This option will finish the tutorial, which is story elements, and start with full single-player campaign. It is recommended that you pick this option only if you have already played the tutorial once. Don't worry, we have. Time is of the essence, Nogand. Alright then, let us split up and look for the little ones separately. I'll send you word if I find them before you do. One other thing, brother. We want people to take us seriously. We may be leading men into battle soon. Let's give our family a name and a banner, like the nobles do. A few hours after you leave the training ground, you come across a wounded man laying under a tree. You share your water with him and try to dress his wounds as best you can. He tells you he is a traveling doctor. To thank you for your help, he hands you a small bronze artifact, which he says was once given to him in payment by a warrior who said only that it was related to Neretzi's folly. He suspects it might be of great value. You resolve to find out more. Here we have our lovely banner for the Order of the Lionhearted. A huge shout out to a Reddit member for creating this. There's going to be a link in the description if you would like to use it for your own playthrough. But this is where everything starts. We have our banner, we have our family name, and we have our quest. Let us reach out and begin to conquer Vlandia. Alright, so let's let the legacy of Calard begin. And we're probably just going to do some real quick recruiting, get some troops, so that we don't get swamped on our way to fair Bretonnia. I mean, Vlandia. Fair Vlandia. It'll be kind of fun and interesting, too. I mean, if you kind of think of, I guess, the quote-unquote lore behind, like, Vlandia, and you take a look over at Britannia, it's almost kind of representative of that Bretonnia Wood Elf balance. So, I'm going to take some time here. We're going to march on over to Vlandia, and we're going to start our conquest over there. So we're going to speed this up right now. Alright, so here we are at Sargo, and I may or may not have forgot to buy any food, so my party is slowly starving to death. That's not very chivalric of me, but you know what? Hard times are hard. The lady looks out for all of us, so let's go to the arena. So we're going to start off with, we're going to do some grand tournaments. This is a very chivalric thing to do, but before we do that, what I want to do is, every single new playthrough, I typically bring up the encyclopedia by pressing N, of course, go into heroes, and I go down to wanderers. I like to kind of see what my quote-unquote role was for my character, and I'll be honest, this is a very strong one, even without even taking too much of a look. So the Wainwright is the best engineer you can get in the game. And if you don't have these in your game when you first start, no, not a big deal. They'll populate in your game. And on top of it, if you get the second best engineer, it's going to get engineering skills, so don't really worry about it too much. It's just a min-maxing thing. You don't even need to really focus on too heavily. But like I said, these will populate as you kind of play through. And the Huntress is a very good scout. Not the best scout, but a good one. Golden is a really good combatant here. Some good riding, a lot of tactics, and some good polearm and one-handed. This character will probably definitely be in our army eventually. Swordsman is the best, quote-unquote, swordsman, I guess you could say. This is two-handed in this case, but athletics. And I'm not as huge on athletics. We're not going to have a lot of athletics-bound characters unless they are a, I guess you could say, utility character like any of the scouting characters or steward characters or trading characters, so on and so forth. Or again, this character, which is nice that it's riding, so this is going to work out well for my BRETONNIA playthrough. There's no knight that fights on foot. Well, that's true. You can take the vow of peasants and you fight on foot, but I'm not a peasant. The shark here has got pretty good roguery, but so we've got Golden, we've got Of the Wastes, which is the best scout, and it looks like a lot of these are going to be down in Asarai. So we'll take a look at those, and they actually they'll shift around as the game goes pretty quickly. In fact, if you were to head over to Sanala immediately upon creating your character, these guys move very fast. Depending on their culture, they all start in their respective cultures locations. So like the Asarai character will start in the Asarai location, but then they'll move very quick in like their first opening portions. Take a look at this. We get the Smith, which is the only and the best Smith companion in the game. And he starts over here at Sargo, right where we are right now. So I'm all about it. And we have these Scholars. That's not the good one. Do I have the other one? Sweet. Okay, this is the Asarai Scholar is the best medic in the game too. So we'll definitely want this character. Unfortunately, they're on foot. But, you know, you can't really mend a bandage if you're on a horseback. So I'll allow it. It fits. We'll do that. So we got a lot of really good rolls right here. Really stoked on that. So we have a lot of really good companions to choose from. Let's go ahead and do some arena action. We'll jump on in and get our first fight going. Okay, we've done our max bet here. We've got a nasal helmet over male cliff. A good little option for a fledgling knight. And of course, why wouldn't I start with a crossbow? A terrifying prospect, as I know this will not be fun for me. You can move around as long as that bottom bar has been set up. Oh no! Oh god! Take that, sharpshooter, for the lady! You too. Oh no. God, the guys in the corner over there are just getting jumped. Okay. Nothing like shooting a dead corpse. That's saying you're shooting a dead corpse with a crossbow, or is it? No, it's you're beating a dead horse with a crossbow. That's it. I've shut off the oh man, just come here, come here, come here. Yes. Oh. A hit, a palpable hit. Oh, of course, would go right into the shield. Oh. I mean, I'm sniping pretty well here with this crossbow. God. No, no, no. I'm your friend. Oh. Oh, he got me. But I think we're still qualified. We'll still be fine. Merton the Smith, our soon-to-be Smith that joins us. We got our other boy in blue over here doing the deed. Oh, he's taking spear shanks to the face and the stomach. Hey, a quick stop, a nice, okay, how are you doing? All right, good, let's just keep going. All right, Merton the Smith and the Imperial Recruit duking it out. Going for a shank on the horse. Oof, there it is. Blue team is just getting it hard here. Let's remember, we barely have any money left, but let's just do it. We'll do the max bet. It's going to at least get us up to 740, so I like to do as much betting as possible in the game, not in real life. Alright, so yeah, some good polearm action here. Go for a quick block. We're going to couch our lance and do some quick jousting here. As befits the lady. Ha! Nice, yes. Cheers. Touch tips. No? Do not do that in this realm? Alright, well, on to the next one. Can't bet anymore, unfortunately. Ooh, this is gonna be rough. Oh! Oh! Serpentine. Oh! Take that, Vlandian champion. Not so champion, are you? Perfect. This is going to be good. Me near naked against a guy that is a tier 5 unit. I'm stoked. Oh! 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 Whew. Got him. Now, I know you can just circle around to the right and hack at their head, but what narrative campaign would this be if fair Khalid were to take such preposterous tactics to win his fights? Lovely. Perfect. Okay, so we got a good little bit of money there, and a nice helmet to start us out. I'm looking pretty cone-headed-ish. It's almost like a high elf now that I'm still on my Bretonnia playthrough, but we'll make do. And we can actually kind of recruit some troops here and swap over to Vlandian recruits from our Imperial ones. We'll let them kind of run their course here. What does Rancid Tandrid want to do? He wants a rival gang moving in Sargo. I don't want to deal with that. Let's go to the local Tavern District real quick. What is it, stranger? Who are you? My name is Calard, sir. Tell me about yourself. Huh? Well, okay, why not? I was a smith, as you can see. I'm a big fellow, strong. I was good at my job. I had a nice shop on the high street through my town. I saved a bit of money and thought about finding a girl to wed. And there was a woman who lived out on the street, a refugee from the wars, had a small child, a baby really. It was all she had. She'd make small cakes of wheat over a fire. Then one day a young man from the palace came down the street in his horse. I wasn't looking where he was going, didn't care, and his horse crushed a baby's head. I saw her nurse that babe through 2 fevers. The patience, the sacrifice of that mother to see all for which she suffered snatched away like that from her by some young drunk's carelessness. There was a crowd around him. He was yelling. I just walked over with my hammer and struck him dead. And that was the end of my life in the city. I think back though and can't imagine doing different. Right or wrong, cannot blame you for your anger. So here I am. I know men like me can make money guarding merchants, doing other tasks such as that, as long as no one wants me to hurt the innocent. Someday, I hope to find a new place to set up a smithy and start again. Right now, I'm between jobs, as you would imagine, so if you've got any work for me, I'm willing to discuss it. I could use someone like you in my company of your rare hammer-head smashing capabilities. Very well, I'm going to need about 2,321 dinar to settle up some, let's just call them debts, though. Can you pay? I can't afford that right now, but how's about, I'll come back to you. I'm going to go do some tasks myself, do some great things for the lady, for Vlandia, then I'll come back to you, fair Mertian. Don't go ahead and, don't go crushing anyone's heads in the meantime, alright? Alright, well, is there anything else? I must leave now, and regrettably so. I will be back. Good to meet you. It's like a casual swipe at the air, too. Let's just kind of see who else is in this lovely little village here. A nice tavern. Oh, look, I love what you've done to the place. So let's see that you casually hunt large horned rams and or goats. Not much competition there. You can feed them a can and be done with it. Yeah, in fact, a lot of longhorn goats in this place. And a preposterously huge bear rug on the wall. So it's a lovely room of death. Let's take over here to the cat tavern keeper here. Good day, sir. How can I help you? Do you know of anyone who might have a task for someone of outlandish, striking handsomeness such as myself. Let's see. Rancid Tangent mentioned something about needing someone to do some work for him. Ah, thanks. Anything else? I don't think I need anything now. You have far too many sausages to be hanging in one tavern, but I think for right now I'm okay. Thank you. Well, I think we have got a good idea for how much it's going to take us to hire young Mertian here. So let's kind of head out on the town, not on the town, on the landscape. Let's do some hunting of some looters and some bandits, and kind of forge our legacy for our Grand Bretonnia here. Before we do that, let's get some horses. Can't afford too much right now, unfortunately. Like 1 or 2. 300 gold. Well, it's only 17 a daily wage. That's fine. Aha! Okay, well then they don't need my help. Oh, how about these guys? Oh, a field battle between the foresters already and the caravans. Well, I'm not going to get involved in that yet. Let me grab you. Let me get you. There we go. Let's fight ourselves some brigands. I couldn't think of a clever voice for those guys just yet, so it'll come to me. Men! It is our time to fight for the lady. Grab your spears, your shields, your swords, and... Oh, Jesus Christ, I've got rocks. Charge! Love that starting horse, which is just not a good one. I have realized that after the fact. Moonwalk out of here on my horse, wait for my guys to come. There we go. I don't want them to take any unnecessary pedal damage. Prison shanking. If you don't know, stabbing typically, on most swords, actually does more damage on horseback than swiping down and cutting, in my experience, but sabers and things that are more apt and prone to cutting tend to help more. But like Vlandia and arming swords tend to be better at quickly piercing and stabbing. But a good haul for our first fight for Bretonnia. And that flag is just so sick. It's not that I'm admiring it, it's that I'm admiring it. So, huge shout out again to the Reddit maker for creating that. We're gonna go kill ourselves some more bandits. That's gonna be kind of comprise up the next portion of this playthrough here. So I'll put this on fast forward and we'll just kind of hunt our way through some bandits. This will actually fight this one. I'll stop the fast forward and we'll take a look here. So my plan right here in this initial portion is we just want to build some renown. We want to get some good income coming in from just killing things and get our guys leveled up a little bit. So that's kind of the initial step here. We should also swap our horse. And we're going to do some tournaments too. And anytime I jump into a tournament, we'll obviously jump on onto that. Right. Take my miss. Looters. Perfect. While auto-resolving does tend to give you a little bit more experience, in one of the more recent patches they did curve that back a little bit, I find jumping into them, as long as you don't kill every single looter, they're still going to get a lot of experience, and you can actually prevent anything from really getting wounded if you're pretty quick on the draw here. Go ahead and loot that. And also another note here, I'm not like bursting to put all these guys ranked up just yet. In fact, I'm probably going to rank up the majority of my Imperial recruits to archers, since Vlandians only have access to crossbowmen, which are still really strong, but might as well get some really good, cheap archers to start off with. And good, a segmented skull cap over mail coif, my preferred helmet. That's not that up. What we're gonna do, let's do this. Back to our party. Let's do 5 of them. And we will get rid of 1, 2. That. And we will go back to recruit troops and get more. I'd like to go grab some Squires, but that's kind of the tricky thing when you're playing either Empire or Vlandia. Finding those compulsory, what's it called? Troops, right? That do. So if I choose Vlandia and Empire. So if I'm looking for either the Imperial, where are they? Vizslas? it's kind of hard to usually find them. Every playthrough I've noticed is different depending on which character gets the powerful rating and is a landowner rating that has access to this. Basically, like, I guess you could call this the equivalent of the noble line for the Empire, like their specific line that's outside of their normal troop. But this gives you those nice, elite cataphracts. And it's challenging to sometimes find this. And I feel it's the same way for Vlandia when it comes to their squires and trying to find this, their quote-unquote noble line. And when I say noble line, I'm just talking about a specific line outside of their normal troop that has access to a nice, high-quality unit. The Bretonnians have the Fians, for example. The Sturgians have the dudes that start with the first 3 ranks are on foot, and the last 2 are on horseback. So everyone's kind of got that in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, the squires are sometimes tricky to find. One of my main playthroughs, I usually find them around here, so we'll check them out a little bit later. But let us do another journey into the arena. All right, another max bet here, and this one looks to be a little difficult. We have Omthri and Lassand here, and Mavia the Wronged. So if you're taking a look at doing your tournaments, make sure you try to not jump into ones that have the named characters, which are usually just stacked. Like that in the neck. Oof. Well, a good first round here. I did some of the damage, not most, but I'll take it. Max bet again. Again, they did kind of change the tournament system. The betting system has kind of gone like a few different arenas here. Ooh. And it's gotten better. The first round, you're going to get the best odds, then decreasing all the way over to the 4th round. And I've heard that the first round, your betting amount, or the amount that you can actually win off of the max bet, changes depending on how much you're winning. And I've found that not to be true. I've won a number of tournaments, and still the max bet has been the same. I find it's basically how stacked is it against you, and having these named characters, it's a pretty big stack against you. Okay, all my money's on the line here. And of course, I've got a bill, which is a terrible weapon in my experience. I'm miserable at it. Oh! Oh! So close. I've got like no armor, so like a good chop on that thing would have did me in. Oh, no, no! Oh, God. Oh. We're on the most challenging difficulty for combat, so we're on not normal, not challenging, but veteran. Whatever the highest one is, the 3rd one. Realistic, as it used to be called. Oh, that was my horse you poked, dude. But we can couch our lance. We'll try and do that. There's kind of a little bit of a trick to this. You can sometimes kind of get them hung up on stuff, that you can get a good distance away to get a couch lance attack on them. And that couch lance, even if it hits the horse, it's just going to decimate the horse. 755 hit points to a horse. Not going to make it. Oh. Oof. That was a heavy hit to me. Aha! Whew! The tournament is... I thought that we had one more round. Oh, glad we did not. So another win for Fair Calard here. So let's take a look at what that bad boy sells at. 890 for that. Weighs a little bit more, but does it look cooler? Because this one's kind of hanging out the side of my face. You know what? I kind of like the cone head a little bit more. And I like having a little bit less encumbrance. It's 890, so I get more money off of it too. So let's get a quick shot of money, even though we could probably use it to get a follower right now. But we definitely need some money hard and fast. So let's do... What I kind of like to do is typically try and find a town. God. Specializes in horses, which, taken out of context, is a terrifying statement to just openly say. But basically, I want to try and find some cheap horses to put in my force. And we feud or a bandit base near Alorston. And since we don't really have many archers, bandit bases are going to be a terrifying prospect, even for a noble knight of Bretonnia. You have a run on cheese. And the nice thing too here is you can always find like a place that you can make a lot of money doing some trading. Unfortunately, our capacity is we'll come back here. Let it be known that the fair people of Bretonnia are still avid traders. Bordeloo trading in rampant amounts of fish and ham. I don't know about the ham part. I kind of made that part up. Let's go with a lot of Midland palfreys here. We'll actually swap this as my... We'll get some mules. Just enough, because we want to be able to take some fish all over the place. Nothing worthy of a knight in this here stable. Oh, that padded shirt's looking pretty damn good right about. Whatever. We'll spring for it. So trying to set up like a nice little trade route for yourself in the beginning of the game is pretty huge, I think. I'm probably going to do this to, yeah, just about my capacity. So we're going to sell this for we're going to buy it for 500 and go to Sargo at 9 a pop. So that's a pretty good little tradie poo there. But where is Sargo? We're going to march on over to Sargo. In the meantime, let us take a look at our skills. So we got 3 focus points to spend. I want to spend some more here on extra hit points. I think Steward is worth investing a point in because you're going to be the main quartermaster for your army. I mean, look at me. I'm the leader of my Vlandian force. The Order of the Lionhearted needs fair Calard to lead it. So putting 2 points in that I don't think is a terrible thing because it'll go up fast that way. These 3 should go up very quick on their own, but I'm going to pop 1 into riding because riding will get me access to some better mounts, and those mounts are going to be crucial to becoming the knight of the realm that I so wish to become. So basically what our goal here is in this first episode is to establish ourselves and get our renown up to a point where we can become a mercenary of Vlandia. Now, mercenary is obviously a bad word when we think about Bretonnia, but in this case, it's going to be all right. We'll make it. So let's sell some fish. I just want to make a 2-to-1 on that. So yeah, get grand. Ooh, a nice sturgeon trot. Lovely little beast. Battle horses. Trotter here, and I'm going to actually get some other stuff here. Grain is at a premium here at Sargo. Sargo is like the one destination I find that is pretty good in Vlandia to just kind of drop off a lot of stuff for trading. Ox Hall, OCS Hall, up north is also a pretty good one too. Oh, let's look. Those wooden hammers. Who needs a hammer? Oh, who needs a hammer is my smith. That guy's going around clubbing nobles in the face. I'm surprised he's not in jail. In fact, how do I put him in jail? As a fair knight of Bretonnia, he should be in jail. And we'll ransom our prisoners. I think maybe we shouldn't be taking prisoners anymore, you know? If you think about it, we're supposed to be this chivalrous knight. And I feel it's out there. We're going to kill him, or we're going to release him, or maybe we do bring him to a prison, you know? I don't... as someone who is a big fan of the lore of Warhammer, I have not read many tales of the long caravans of prisoners that the knights errant would take back from their crusades. So, aha, here's our squires. So we'll take 2 of these guys. And we'll, yeah, we'll dump. Unfortunately, let's take, let's actually do a little bit of this. Pump these guys up, all the archers. And no. Archers, these footmen, and we'll put 2 away. That'll give us some nice fledgling cav as we get our force mobile and ready for war. I want to try, if you guys know in the comment section below, let me know of any ways that I can change the names of any of the, companions, or even like changing the name of these guys. I'd love to name the Vlandian Squires like Knights Errant. I think that'd be a really cool way to kind of get into the narrative of this campaign. And as Calard kind of like progresses through the land here and sets up his little beginning of his empire, it's going to be pretty crucial to kind of keep this going as far as ransacking all these individual looters, checking all these individual towns for tournaments. That way we can keep our income up. And selling those items, you can tell, is pretty good. Unfortunately, they did patch away the ability to break them down and make a lot of money. But we can't do that too much. Oh ho ho! A kettle helmet over laced coif yet again. And you'll notice that there is an abundance of helmets in the game just because there's so many different variations. But there are also plenty of weapons and armor to get through these two. Let's jump into yet another tournament. Okay, so this one looks to be a pretty good one. Just Aldrich the Loud and Malbert. Terrible name. So, we won't be filling every single one of these playthroughs with me going through every single tournament. I will be doing some stuff in between some of these episodes to at least kind of get our character progressed a little bit along. But again, this first one is just kind of to establish a baseline for our character, our objective in becoming like this vassal and again, eventual strong owner of a Vlandian fief. Oh yeah. Oh, it's taking people out today. I am the gunman on the grassy knoll. Oh, Calard. It's dishonorable. You shot a friend, Calard. You shot a friend, Calard. The lady will not like that. Oof, in the face, though, for the boar champion. That's what you get for being named after a disgusting, tusked pig boar. All right. Betting again. Heavy and hard. Oof. Just no chance on that guy. I hate this because I don't know if some guy's going to come up behind me and just hit me in the face with a bill. That's right, Caravan Master. Oh, in the throat too! God, I am headshotting these folk. Oh. Why did I stop reloading? Oh. Man. Getting those boar folk down. The boar people shall not rise again. Alright, skipping that round, getting this in. Boo 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 boo. Max betting, just going as hard as we can. Oh no. Oh no, this is terrible. This is terrible. I'm gonna have no money after this. I know it, I know it, I know it, I know it, I know it. Oh! That'd have been a great combo to finish him off. I think the bill is the one weapon in the game that gives me the most anxiety to use because I just suck at it. If it were like a two-handed weapon, I'd be like, oh, yeah. Oh, I should have just gone for the stab. I keep trying to go for the couch, and it's just not working out for me. And I missed that one. That was miserable. Calard today is not on his couching game. I am not in a good position. But I find kind of using these rocks, using the trees. Actually, this is kind of a bit of an interesting one. Oh, there's a big pebble in my way. Using this little area is nice too, because he'll basically miss me and charge into there and I'll just stab him. It is dishonorable, but Calard is not a losing man, 'tis a winning one. Fell for the oldest trick in the book, poor novice. Don't fall into the castle's nook. Kill that horse. I mean, don't. No. Calard. Keep it together. Alright. Some good renown, some good earnings, and that's the biggest thing about doing the tournaments, I find, is that by doing these little tournaments, we're getting our renown up, because we need to for our first quest here. And right now, we just need 4 more renown, and we're completed with this. But mainly, we got to go get ourselves a companion, too. So, Aldrich the Loud is a good little ditty. We're going to kind of take a look at some companions to select before we end this episode here. I want to kind of focus these around 45 minutes to an hour. And you guys can let me know in the comment section below. What's really kind of working for you with this campaign? Are you enjoying the voice work? Do you want me to do more exposition before walking into taverns and stuff with little narrative texts? This first episode is a little bit of a trial and error just to see what's going on and what makes the most sense. So you guys just let me know what you like the most. I have fun doing these either way. So I'd love to kind of custom build them to whatever you guys would like. This guy is right here. If I look at Vlandia, we should be able to find people that are right around us. She's a good scout. Fredicard. My brother's name is Fred. That's interesting. Fred Card. Bitter Drought is a nice one because Bitter Drought also gets Charm and Medicine. I don't know what having a companion with Charm does, though, so we'll have to kind of look at that as we progress. I like this guy for a smith, just to kind of have him make weapons for me, because I think that's kind of cool. But he's also a decent enough combatant, but he is on foot. A shark. I am a noble, chivalric knight of the old code. I'm not going to stoop so low to a guy with roguery, but this guy, on the other hand... Oh, wait, no. I was trying to make a joke about roguery, but it just did not land. Okay, so I think... 80 and 120. And again, a roguery I think is supposed to help me out with ransoming people and also sneaking into locations, but I think that they are probably going to add a clan role for rogues, like a spy master or even just a rogue. So until then, I think roguery on a companion is not as helpful or useful. But I think this guy of the hills is going to be our bet. So we're going to go to Oxhall, and he'll be our bowman. He is unfortunately on foot too, but I expect any kind of bowman to be on foot for this kind of playthrough. And I think it would be cool. He'll be using a crossbow. I think this will be the first companion I have with a crossbow. It's fitting, you know? It's very Bretonnian. Tavern District. No! Brunda the Wainwright. Like I said, sometimes these guys are not where they say they are. So, it's last seen at Oxhall today. There's a chance he's probably moving in between towns. He could be over at Rovalt, Provend, or one of these two, actually. So let's kind of mosey on up here, take a look at what we got access to. Oh. This is a cool thing, too. Always make sure you're taking a look at, holding on Alt and looking at your looters, because he has his troop type for champion and novices. Well, if we go over here, Boar is part of the unique line as far as the minor faction for Vlandia. So I could get some pretty nice crossbowmen right now that would replace maybe my Imperial Archers or some of my Vlandian recruits. Unfortunately, I don't quite have enough steward to get enough stuff going. I gotta get more food variety going on this piece. Okay. And we shall attack you head on, brigands. These swashbuckling cutthroats. We got a nice little force here too, so we're just gonna the whole thing's gonna charge in. If I press F1 and then advance, it would keep my archers at range, and they'd run away as they kind of close in, too. A nice swipe on my horse, doing tons of damage to them. Look at my barn door for a shield. Good luck with your pebbles, looters. Okay, just missed that guy's afro by like half a swipe, or I guess a fro in this case. Boom. Almost gave some haircuts out to some looters. It was a good bout there, lads. But we can actually grab all them, but we will, I think, drop the novices. Even though I think they're pretty good. We'll upgrade this guy first to a footman. Drop a couple recruits. 1, 2. You know, it's funny, I'd spend a horse to upgrade a horse. Whatever. Mosey on up here. Start to bring our episode here to a close. More Squires. So take a look at this guy. Narek of Hollisvust. And I go to recruit troops. I see that he is a powerful landowner. I've noticed that the powerful landowners typically have access to those really nice high tier units. And if you buy all these out, they'll repopulate with Vlandian recruits at first. And then I think it takes a couple days for them to populate further. But you can see if I have 5 renown with Narek, I'll be able to recruit a Squire, so on and so forth. Revolt, go to the Tavern District of Lorik Bloodaxe. A fitting name for a Sturgian. Right. Sell some stuff. What the hell? I'm not a huge fan of that helmet. I kind of like the mail. We'll just stick with the mail. Sell those. We'll probably hold on to that helmet, and we'll use it for our next dude. And what's cheap here? There's some pretty nice grain. I noticed you have a run on grapes, too. You have some expensive meat, which is not a euphemism. And go to arena. Well, I was going to say, regardless, we won't fight in that arena. I would do that off camera. Let's go to Ostican here, and hopefully we will find ourselves our companion. I want to be able to end that episode after finding our first companion, after I've drained all of my funds, which is good, which is really good of me. Tavern District, Frostbeard. 80 scouting on him. I do want to get a good scout to start off with, or at least a healer. That, in my experience, is probably the best way to go, because the healer is going to allow your men to recover quicker when they have wounds, and also on top of it, they have a chance to become wounded rather than killed in combat if you have good medicine. So I like to kind of go with that instead. So let me see the hills. Still says Oxhall. I find that sometimes that is very unreliable, but it's a good place to get a general idea of where to go. That's just the Scholar guy. This is that Scholar, but Hubyar is real far away, and he is probably our preferred medicine guy. But yeah, you can see where that is in relation to me. And we've modeled Calard after his actual character in the game. I know what I've said before about if you don't have a bald, bearded character, why are you even playing the game? But Calard was not bald nor bearded. But he did have himself a nice goatee, a powerful goatee. Some facial scarring. Alright, we'll get that one-handed skill. I like the one-handed damage increase over the 3 hit points. I think that's kind of bland and generic. We'll actually we'll increase our endurance up one more, and we're going to pop a skill point into polearm. We're going to be dealing with a lot of polearms in all of these individual arenas. So I feel like it's a good little way to go. So let's go ahead and fast forward here, and we'll find our companion. I don't think I know you. Peace to you, stranger. My name is Calard, sir. Tell me about yourself. Many men would begin their story by reciting their ancestry. I will not do this. A man should be judged on his own deeds. A long list of ancestors does him no credit. Also, my family does not acknowledge me, so why should I acknowledge them? I was the son of a slave. My father, a judge, raised me in his house, but it was clear that he would never spend much time to ensure my success in the world. Still, I was tutored with his other sons and chose to study medicine as a young man. I thought I could perhaps be a physician. Well, I was soon disabused of this idea. A doctor starting out in the world must either have a great deal of money or a family that ensures him a long list of clients. I have neither. Instead of working in the city, I took service aboard a ship. Professionally, it was perhaps the best thing I could have done. Fevers, injuries, festering sores, the seaman has in greater number and variety than any manner of land dweller, I imagine at least. But I have little patience for life aboard. The monotony, the tyranny of captains, the lack of space to oneself, the groaning of timbers, the constant smell of rotting bilge. Yes, it must be very trying. At any rate, I have a bit of money to my name and the leisure to wait a few weeks before choosing my next employer. Right, now I'm between jobs, so if you've got any work for me, I'm willing to discuss it. I was looking for either a scout or a physician, so I can use someone like you in my company. Very well, I'm going to need about 1,976 dinars to settle up my debts, of course. Some things, some seamen, mad pirates. Can you pay? Let me go to the market real quick. I can't afford that right now. Okay, well, is there anything else? I must say, I'll be back. I will be back. Yeah, later. So, we found ourselves a physician rather than the scout, and I went damn near everywhere. Let's go to trade real quick. I can almost afford him. Sell one of these. I did a couple little arena bouts in the midst of looking for this guy, so I didn't want to, like, have you guys sit through all of that. So let's sell that, and these, and this. And that should give us both enough to recruit him, and have a little to kind of keep our people fine. Calard? So then, what is it? I can use someone like you in my company, like I was saying. I was just here. Very well, I'm going to need 1,976 dinars. Right, 1,976 dinars. Here you are. Yes, Captain. Okay, let's calm down there. Let's head on back out here, take a look at our inventory, and let's try and set him up the best we can. Actually, let's take a look at his skills. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm looking pretty rough in that picture. So he is our one-handed throwing guy with some good athletics and medicine. Again, fine with him being on foot. You can't really bandage someone when you're on horseback anyway. So we will give him a helmet in the meantime. We have nothing else aside from that. Still from humble origins. So we'll kind of stop things there. Let's go ahead and take real quick a look at our party. We'll upgrade our squires again to gallants. More Knights of the Realm, as it were. And I got a couple little bumps up here. Another focus point that I think that we're going to drop right on into... this sounds crazy, but we're going to put it into athletics. This way, when we're doing any kind of arena work or we do any sieges, it's going to help us gain a little bit more athletics, so we're a little bit more nimble on our feet, and we're not sluggish, as we're going to be weighed down with way, way heavier armor as we progress through this. So I hope you guys enjoy this little narrative campaign here with the fun voices and some little exposition arriving into some of these locations. Again, let me know in the comment section below. Does this work for you as far as a narrative campaign goes? Do you want to see more of any one thing that I've done in this playthrough thus far? With this being the first episode, we, again, have a whole palette to just keep changing and adding things to this, and I wanted to supplement some of the guides on my channel with some fun playthroughs. And hopefully you can kind of see how I approach the game in some ways that I kind of at least try to give you mini tutorials on little things that I think are just a little bit less what's it called, explained, or a little bit more complex. So if you'd like more or less of that, please let me know in the comment section. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that fun action. If you have not yet picked up Bannerlord 2, you'll find a link in the description where you can purchase the game itself through Fanatical. You will get a Steam key, in which case you'll redeem on Steam, but it's a great way to support the channel if you plan on buying the game. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one, and take care for the lady.